Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Walford, where me, Ben, is joined with you.
Me, Alex.
English is not very my language.
Ben. You, Alex. Language no good. You are like Ralph. I keep saying Ben's like Ralph from The Simpsons. He know English? No, me fail English? That's impossible. Anyway, yes.
We're very tired this week, but we're here, so that's what matters.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we've got another jam-packed show ready for everyone to enjoy. And...
Well, but can I, before we start, before the camera went on, I said to Ben, this wall is looking really bare. And we used this area to record both the Walford, this podcast, and Walford Weekly, which is our EastEnders Roundup podcast. And also to record a few videos here and there. And then we got nothing to put on the back of our wall. So I'll do a shout out for the other podcasts as well. But if anyone wants to send us something to put on the back of this wall,
pictures, fill up the wall.
Yeah, fill up the walls with your pictures. It's like children's television from the 80s.
Nothing X-rated though.
Oh, it does have to be, or doesn't?
It doesn't.
Oh,
because it will not be.
Well, we won't put it up.
Banned.
We won't put it up. Yeah. So or if there's like a picture that you particularly like, or I know if
picture of us.
If you've drawn a picture of us, anything at all, we will honestly we will get it printed. We don't have a printer, but we'll find a way and we'll put it on the back of this wall, and it'll be nice decoration. Then it'll be something a bit more interesting than a plain white void.
Plain white void is good.
Yeah, this is like
my personality.
You are just a vacuum.
I've got no coffee this week either.
No
Starbucks, no coffee.
We've got it unbranded this time. We did get a couple of people mentioning
I'm just having
it.
a juice, because I'm so healthy now. Yeah. But busy week we've had. It's very hot today in this room.
How do they get into? How can they send us? Send it alexwalfordweekly@gmail.com.
Or send it on Twitter.
Or send it to us on Twitter.
Below.
Yeah, you can just put us at Walford Weekly on Twitter or Instagram.
You're really determined to get this.
I want some pictures on this back wall. EastEnders related or anything you like. Just
anything related.
Anything related, and we'll pop it on the back wall. Anyway, right. Sorry, I'll be quiet now.
So we do our weekly horoscopes to get through.
Yes.
And discuss how our week has gone, what's happened, etc.
What a week.
I know, very
knackered.
Busy. I am very tired. It's very draining. So let's have a look. So we do your horoscope first.
Well, from last week?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if it rings true to what actually happened to me.
So, last week. Alex, you... Today, you can have a financial discussion with a family member that brings a positive breakthrough. Have you spoken to your family?
No. Did I say last week I needed to speak to them?
Yes.
That still applies.
You said you were going to phone them. You phone your mum and dad.
I'm such a bad
You can combine resources for a greater purpose, such as investing in real estate, starting up a farm. I remember this now, yes. So you've...
Well, to be fair, combined for the greater purpose, your mum and dad have recently sold their house.
And bought a farm. That may have a caravan park attached to it.
Yes, so for the greater purpose...
So you're stealing my family then, basically.
Well, no, it's my family too. If we were married, your mum would be my mother.
When it comes to financial gain, they're our family.
Your mum, yeah. When it comes to money, it's my family, yeah.
Okay, so you can kind of adapt that. Communications are mundane and difficult today. They should not be attempted, and that is on Tuesdays.
Yeah, because I said we record this on a Tuesday, don't we?
But if you want to speak to spiritual topics and entities, you can, speak to the other worlds, basically. So it would have been a good chance for you to do that.
We're not discussing these things.
So there you go. But you did have a social event, and so they told you maybe don't communicate, and you did. So we'll just think about that.
Oh, but they said that we shouldn't have communicated. Perhaps in the long term, we shouldn't have.
Right. Oh my god, what have I done? Okay, so let's go on to my one, because I can't remember what mine was. Last week. We need to do your next week, actually, don't we?
Well, should we do your last week first?
My last week, yes. Consider taking the plunge and speaking to the person who has liked your online dating profile. You may feel that you have a lot in common.
I mean... Again...
Let's skip over that.
I would say that happened. However, I think we should look at next week's horoscopes.
Yes. So we'll go with mine because it's open.
Yeah.
I'm open.
So, shall I read yours to you? So the week begins on Sunday, July 18th.
Start there.
Okay. So this is Ben's horoscope. So it would be great to wait until later in the week to deal with legal matters. If you must sign, read every provision carefully and see if you can negotiate the points that are not to your liking.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have a contract on my way soon.
You are. Someone's going to get in touch with you and want to make you sign a contract, but you need to make sure that's the contract you want to sign.
Okay. I don't normally read contracts, so...
Well, yeah, but it's different.
Maybe I should.
It's different to read a contract for, say, a mobile phone or a new Gmail account or something like that, because no one reads those. Or if, like, Apple have just released a new iOS and they've just changed their terms and conditions, no one reads them.
Accept.
Flick, accept, and then you just hope that there's nothing on there that says, and we will take your soul when you die. But with something like a legal contract like that, especially if it's work related, you should really, I mean, my last job, I was given a contract and I stood, and the woman hated me, but I read every single word of it to make sure that I couldn't, in the long run, end up having to work.
I didn't read my last one, and
exactly,
what happened to me.
Exactly.
And I was freed.
You were got rid of, and you were adamant that you were okay. So, see? So you should read contracts like that, you should read.
This week I will, if I get any.
And family. You want to read from my family?
Well, the other bit is like all about the planets, and that's just all loads.
Well, in the house of relationships, it makes a square in your house for home and family. A family member may come to you and ask for forgiveness. There could have been a period of estrangement, or perhaps they've just stepped on your toe. I mean, again...
The request is sincere.
Well, again, there is one family member I can think of that perhaps should ask for your forgiveness by his... It's him, by his perhaps naivety of a certain...
That's stringing it a bit. My anti-vax relation.
Your anti-vax relation,
yes.
Who basically has had the first jab and is adamant for the last week that...
Last 10 days he's
dying.
Still ill.
He's dying.
Yes.
Hasn't he? He's been sending like your family messages every week, every day, updating, like, oh, today I've got a headache. Or today my hand fell off. Or today I've got no voice. Yeah. Just nuts.
No, I don't believe anything he says.
We don't, because it's in his mind. It's the same as what you said to me, because someone at my work has just come back from... I think your brother's a bit like me. It's in my mind, but subconsciously I don't realise that I'm thinking it. So someone at work had just come back from having COVID, and I said to you, someone at work had COVID, and then the next day I was like, I think I've got COVID.
Yeah, you had a little cough.
I was like, I've got COVID then. I'm going to die. But I'm due my second jab. I'm due my second jab in 2 days. 2 days. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, what's
next week for you? You could be led down the wrong path by someone with an attractive smile.
Not you then.
This is a relationship situation you've been in before. One you may have promised yourself you wouldn't do again. Put the pause on love today until your head is clear. It's all about love on yours all the time.
I'm a loving guy.
They should have a horoscope for people who are, like, not single. Or only single people read horoscopes.
I think that tends to be the case. Single or a certain age and above tend to read them.
Your family will come to your rescue. You get the support that you need, whether it be emotional or financial. They're promising that financial thing again.
Want the dollar.
But it's your family, not mine. So that's what they're telling you for a second week now. Your family.
Yeah, but my family is your family, and your family is my family. We're one. We've been together for far too long for you to say that your mum and dad aren't also my mum and dad.
True. But I think the horoscopes are telling you...
To phone my mum and dad and ask for money.
Not money, but phone your mum and dad.
For emotional support. It's the first part's the most interesting one. Am I going to...
You're going to meet someone with a nice smile?
Am I going to meet someone with a nice smile? Not necessarily a dentist. Could be the Joker from Batman.
That's not real. Anyway, that was our horoscopes for the week. So we will see what that leads to next week. But I am forever hopeful of what is going on. I mean, some news this week as well. The Euros finished. We're two straight men. We have to talk about it.
Football. I mean...
No, I have zero interest.
Well, my favourite thing was that because we live in Scotland, when the match, we didn't watch the match. I'll be honest with you, we're not football fans.
No.
But obviously England versus Italy was the final, and every time Italy scored, there was cheers coming from every house around.
In Scotland, basically, whoever England was up against is who they currently.
Oh yeah, they would have supported them. Yeah. Which to be honest with you, that's the reason why we moved. No offense to England, it's a lovely country. It's fine. I lived there for most of my life. But we moved from England to Scotland because we liked the lifestyle of Scotland more and the people of Scotland. But I mean, it cracked me up when like they were cheering every time Italy were doing something that basically defeated the English team.
And people were convinced that it was coming home. When was the last time it came home, that day?
Yeah, but that really offends me that 1966 was the World Cup.
Remember that after Alex's rant? Go.
Well, it offends me when they say things like, it's coming home. It's
the English game, isn't it? Whatever. I don't know.
Well, I suppose it was invented in England, so that's why they mean that term. But for me, it just feels like it has some kind of undertone to it. But it's almost
everything has
and
a
the thing
racist
is,
undertone.
And the thing is, the English fans have been highly criticised for a lot of their jive, their kind of booing and their comments that they made during the football matches. And
all the MPs have now stood out and said, "Oh, it's racist. We don't support it."
Well, Boris Johnson,
at the time, they wouldn't bend the knee, and they said bending the knee was a racial thing.
Boris Johnson said he wouldn't bend the knee.
Yeah, they're all bastards.
But then at the end of the tournament said that all the people who made all those comments against the players who are BAME should go back under the rock they came from. Which is, to be fair, it's a lovely statement. But I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, but it's far too late to make
too
that.
late,
and
as Jojo would say.
And also, he's made comments in the past where it doesn't kind of solidify the comments he's making now. He's almost making it as almost like almost a token kind of comment for everyone, so they can all. But I've seen a lot of people have gone, "Oh, nice one, Boris. That's the spirit." And I must say that it is very, very much the minority of people in England. But actually, no, I'm not going to say that. Actually, I'm retracting that comment.
You've seen the hordes of England fans on that night. Disgusting.
It is disgusting. And to say it's a minority is almost like confirming that report that Parliament had made. Remember they had that report made about 6 months ago to see is England racist? And they were like, and basically they turned the next page and like, oh. No. And it's like, well, yes, it is. There is so many people who have, and well, let's look at our Home Secretary, Priti Patel, and her new laws that she's introduced.
Such a pretty name for such an ugly person.
Ugly personality.
That's what I meant. I'm not talking about her looks, I'm talking about her personality. She's dead.
There was a really funny TikTok I was watching actually, and they basically, it was this girl, and she was pretending to be Priti Patel in school, and there was like a few things. And
that's a mistake.
Well, and then one of the jokes was like someone made a racist joke around her, and she, as Priti Patel, she went, "Oh yeah, that's really funny. That's not racist at all, and I completely understand why you said it." And it's like, yeah, I imagine she would be like that. Like she wouldn't stand up for her race or her ethnicity. She would just want to be one of the crowd, and that's the problem. There's no one standing up for them inside the government that we have. And that token thing that Boris Johnson said at the press conference is exactly that, a token. And sorry about my rant, but that really wound me up when I saw that, especially when I saw so many people saying, I don't really like the guy, but I liked that he said that. And it's like, no, he's putting a smoke screen up.
That's what he does. That's what they all do. But anyway, talking about the Euros.
Can I say one more thing also?
Yes.
The England football team that we have currently, I think 8 or 9 of the 8, the main team, would not be in our team in the new immigration laws that Priti Patel is introducing in the UK.
In fact, she wouldn't be in the UK, would she?
Yeah. So her immigration laws are disgusting.
We're anti Priti Patel on this podcast.
I'm sorry if you're conservative, but I'm
Conservatives are cancelled.
Again, I don't want to be unfair to all conservatives, but this is a very more right-leaning conservative party than they've had in the past, let's just say. And this government that we have right now is just disgraceful.
We don't stand them on this podcast.
We do not.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Speaking of the Euros.
I apologise for my rant.
What was that date when it last came home?
1966. Right. It was the World Cup.
So that's the date that everyone remembers. Please put your headphone in because you're going to want to hear this. Obviously, not many people can remember what it was like then. 1966.
Well, I can, because I'm immortal.
So speaking of immortals, obviously our old friend from episode 1.
Why did I know this was heading?
What was her name? Mary the Victorian, I think. We'll have a look in a minute. But a fan asked her, well, what was it like? Because no one can experience this. And so I thought, being us, we don't care about what football is, but we care what
an immortal has to say about football.
Exactly. Can I open this link? Let me just have a look. I'm not using my laptop this week, you see. Because
I feel as if a mistake was made for this.
It all went wrong last week because there was no sound on my recording. So now I'm doing it all on my phone. So, what was her name, the Immortal?
You said Mary.
Please continue to speak while we...
Well, no, because it would be easier for you to edit if I don't say anything.
No, I don't edit this, so this will be in the show.
Oh, what, the whole long pause of me staring at you on your phone?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to anyone who's tuned into episode 3 of the podcast, where basically we still are ironing out... This is actually like GB News. We're still ironing out those mistakes.
Rose the Victorian is on
coming very soon, so stay tuned. Here's some adverts from some people who really shouldn't be advertising on GB News.
Okay, right. So, what was it like when England...
It seemed an appropriate time to answer this question.
In 1966.
But, full disclosure, you are asking the wrong person. Because I don't follow football and I never have. Actually, no,
I used to follow it in the Victorian era.
I follow it now, but not by choice. Just because it's all over my social media, I can't seem to get rid of it.
Just block the word football on your social media.
Kind of. I listened to it. I managed to convince some friends that it would be a better idea, instead of coddling around a little watch box, to take the radio and tune in.
When I heard this, I thought 1966 wasn't that long ago.
So that was kind of nice. But overall, things were slower back then. Football wasn't as fast and as furious as it is now. But it certainly brings people together. I remember hearing cheering.
I remember cheering.
Down in the town. From sort of up on the hill.
Sat on the hill?
So that was good. But if you don't get the outcome you want tonight, please be respectful. Don't smash things
I love that her message at the end, the important part, where she's like saying to people who may follow her and listen to her every word, got cut short. Like the rest of the codswallop at the beginning, she kept in. But the bit where it's like, please be respectful of other people and other nations, and then ends like that.
Don't slag off Rose Victorian, please.
First of all, television in 1966 wasn't tiny little television sets where everyone huddled around.
Are you sure?
I'm certain of that. It was broadcast in black and white. I know that much for sure. And also, she's saying it was not as fast paced as it is now. I'm fairly certain the 1966 World Cup final was quite a high scored game. I think it was like 4-3 or 4-2 or something like that. I'm going to find out.
It wasn't as vicious as...
No, she said it wasn't as fast paced. And I would argue that perhaps, I think it would have been just as... I don't think the game's any different in that respect. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
You are questioning the Immortal.
Yes.
When she talked about we were huddled around a radio on a hill, and I thought 66 wasn't that long ago, but who are we to dismiss Rose?
Yeah, the score was 4-2. Now, for a football match that had scoring like 6 goals like that, I would imagine it was quite a fast pace, almost quite an attacking game. Because normally a high scored football match means it's quite attacking. So there's a lot of trying to get to the goal rather than, possession where they're trying to keep the ball to themselves, just passing it around to one another.
Why are you talking about football? I'm literally not listening to anything you're saying.
So from the score, I'm just saying that I would argue that I think
what
it
was
would
the
have been
score? I didn't even listen to what you said.
England 4, West Germany 2.
Oh gosh.
She should ask her about East and West Germany. And
maybe someone has. Maybe you should.
Yeah. Ask her if she flew, using her mind to West Germany one day and looked to the Berlin Wall.
Well, that's our ongoing update on the Immortals, which we will be bringing to you each and every week here on the Walford, because they have a special place on this podcast now.
Do they?
They are immortally here. Do you remember last week when I showed you the caravan woman who invited her neighbour's young boys into her caravan? And it was all very suspicious.
The woman who was like,
who bought
my neighbour. Oh yeah, the woman who was like, I invite my neighbour's son to the caravan.
To my caravan for the shag shed or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Well, people were very worried last week because she disappeared and her account was banned for 7 days.
Can I just say, sorry, going back to the woman,
that's fine.
Ask her what channel...
You ask her.
All right, if you're watching, what channel... What channel? Although she'll know now, you can Google it and find out. Don't worry.
Ask her. She can Google everything.
Well, that's true. Well, apparently she can't Google the hill that she was sat on when she was listening to the World Cup. So the woman who was tempting young boys into her house.
Who invited her friend's sons to her caravan.
Yes.
Sometimes the dads turned up, sometimes the sons turned up.
Sometimes
but
both
whatever.
at the same time.
She was banned for 7 days and everyone's very worried about this.
What, on TikTok?
Yes.
What, because of that video she made?
Well, that's what people thought.
Ooh.
Because we did question, was this appropriate age?
It's made me
Right.
laugh because with your laughing faces, you're suggesting that I might have done a naughty video. which I didn't. So one of my videos got over 1 million views, had thousands of trolls on it.
You and me.
I did a video
weren't
of
horrible.
just one
In fact,
of them, just not a child, an adult, just giving them a little bit back. They must have been a little bit of a fanny because they couldn't take it, reported my video, and
fanny.
I got a 7-day ban for it.
No, I think she said it.
No, someone was being a bit of a
yeah.
fanny.
Oh, I thought she said it was being a little bit funny.
They must have been a little bit of a fanny.
No, I think she says a little bit funny.
No,
I don't
that's
think she says...
fanny.
They must have been a little bit of a fanny because they couldn't take it, reported.
No, they must have been a little bit funny.
A little bit of a fanny.
They didn't say. She doesn't say a little bit of a fanny. She says a
does.
little bit funny.
Right. TikTok now lets you rewind.
Yeah, I know.
They must have been a little bit of a fanny because they must have been a little bit of a fanny because they must have been a little bit of a fanny because
A little bit of a fanny.
No, a little bit funny.
It's a little bit of a fanny, which really.
Fanny or funny, everyone? Does she say fanny or funny?
But she is back from TikTok.
Yes.
So she's back, thank God.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that.
You know, when the neighbour's son texts to say he's waiting in the caravan of love.
God, that caravan's nice. Is that a caravan?
That's a house.
I thought she stayed in a caravan park.
Oh.
Oh, what, so she's coming out from her house? So she
To go to a
Hang on, so
caravan.
she lives in her caravan outside her house? Has she had like a divorce or something? Is that why she's gone a little... She's being a little bit of a fanny?
What would you do if you came home and I was in your room?
I thought she was going to shoot herself then. Like, what would you do if I came home and I was in your room?
Oh dear. So
I mean, she's living up to her reputation, isn't she? She's obviously enjoying the short fame she's having. I mean, God, like I say, if she's not doing anything illegal, then let her get on with it. She's not hurting anyone. I've not seen anyway. I don't think she's actually ended up like, you know, doing anything to these lads. I just think that she's
she's just being
kind of put the
stupid.
persona on.
But we're all happy that she is back.
Are you happy that she's back?
Yeah, I think the world's better place.
The world's a better place. Good. I saw the link here, so I know what you're about to show me.
Yeah, there's good news on the vaccine rollout, everyone. Because we know it's been going well. And thankfully, the Teletubbies have now all been fully vaccinated.
I have seen this tweet actually already. In fact, I think it was mentioned, I think it was put on the national news that this had happened.
That's big news.
There's a couple of things that people have spotted actually, and it's funny you should bring this up because I was watching a video about this just before I came up and was doing this today. Two things. One, if I zoom in, if you look at the format of the date there, it's month, date and year. So that means only two places do that format for their date system. That's America and Teletubbyland. And also another thing is that they have two different manufacturers. They have AstraTubica, which I must say is a stroke of genius. And they have Knudsen and Knudsen.
New and Newson.
As in Nunu, remember that thing with
Nunu.
the two eyes?
The Hoover.
Yes, which means basically in Teletubbyland, where we don't really see any more things exist other than these four Teletubbies, they have two different...
Rabbits.
Well, the rabbits don't need...
The Hoover must want one
The
as well.
Hoover is mechanical.
He made these.
That's like you saying that our vacuum cleaner needs a vaccine. But yeah, in Teletubbyland, they've actually organised two different vaccines for the Teletubbies.
Does that mean they're different ages then? Like,
well, this is it. This is the
the
bonus.
purple one and the
but look
orange yellow one must be older.
Yeah, but look at their dates. Their date of birth. It's
2003.
Yeah, 2003. It's 20th of February, 2003. Teletubbies started in like 1997. So what happened?
These might be the children of the original Teletubbies.
Oh, a bit like what they did with Donkey Kong. That's how Nintendo explained why Donkey Kong looks different to the original Donkey Kong. Because they said that Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong and that the new Donkey Kong is the son of him. Or no, his grandson. So it would have been his son's son. But anyway, that Nintendo kind of explained why does Donkey Kong, because he looks different to like his counterpart in the old 80s arcade coin games. And Nintendo actually said it's because Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong, and that the new Donkey Kong...
He's died now, isn't he?
Well, Cranky Kong, no, he hasn't. No, you're thinking of Wrinkly Kong. Wrinkly Kong is his wife. She used to be the school teacher.
She's dead.
She died. In the third one, she's a ghost.
Oh, good. So she's still around.
Yeah, she's still around as a character in the games. I love the Donkey Kong. I could talk for hours about Donkey Kong. But so Cranky...
Good news, the vaccine rollouts are still working well worldwide and the Teletubbies are safe.
They are working well. And anyone who says, like, oh, yeah, but people are still getting sick, they will still get sick. It's a vaccine. It's not a repellent. It's a vaccine.
The rewards outweigh the risks.
But do you think we should still open up the way that... Because England's opening up... I think England's opening up this week.
19th of July, isn't it? Something like that.
So it's the beginning of next week. And Scotland, I think, is the following. They're not doing it.
The thing I hate is that social distancing is ending. The best thing that was ever invented. But very upsetting news.
Yeah, but what about masks? Because you wear the mask, obviously, but you always moan about it. Like whenever you
at work, I didn't like wearing it at work. That was just.
I've got no problem with them. And in a funny way, I like wearing them.
Sometimes I do, but it's a bit panic-inducing wearing a mask because it's like...
Oh, fine. I completely understand that. But because a few people have said they're going to carry on wearing them. I'm thinking that I'm going to carry on wearing a mask when I go inside to buildings.
Yeah, because I've seen videos in America where people are just everywhere. And it's back to normal and it does look worrying.
But I do. I think that's something I'm seriously considering doing. Like maybe carrying on wearing masks.
I think a lot of people will. It'll become like normal. Although people think that's really bad, don't they? For some reason.
But why? You're not hurting anyone by wearing them. In fact, the reason you're wearing a mask isn't to protect yourself necessarily.
I hate it when people are like, "But we miss seeing your smile," and it's like, "Oh, shut up! You don't miss seeing someone smile." Yeah, but I will if you're a friend of mine or a family or something like that, you will see my face at some point. I mean, not many people want to see this ugly mug coming up to them very often. So I don't really understand why people would miss my smile. But I do love watching those videos where you see people... It's what Karens say just because, like, they want a reason not to wear a mask.
Yeah, but those videos when the people are wearing the mask and they kind of, like, look like they're smiling with their eyes and then they take the mask away and you can see them and they're making, like, a face like that. Like that. I love it. See, that's another reason why I think masks are good.
I find that harder actually because people can't tell that I'm smiling at them, and that's like my way of telling people I am safe, I'm kind. Why
would anyone think? Why are you doing?
I don't know. You don't know what people are thinking about you, but like it's like the English hello. You can't do that.
You can see it in people's eyes when people are smiling. If you covered my mouth, right? Am I smiling or not? Guess. Ready? Here we go. Am I smiling?
No.
No. Okay. Right. Now.
No.
No, I'm not. But now.
God's sake. Yes.
Yeah, how can you tell? Because my eyes.
So you're not everyone. So.
I don't know if I take offence to that or not, really, to be honest.
So one of our topics this week is about tiny living. Because it is the new phenomenon. People, because we were talking last week about how people are changing to the late stage capitalism. Everyone's doing more things for the environment, blah, 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 blah. So there's like a big boom where people, obviously housing prices are ridiculous. People cannot afford them. We've all seen those charts where they, like, it shows a boomer and they buy a house for like £2,000.
Yeah, but in the 50s.
And then it goes to now and then the boomer then says to their kid, well, we bought the house, you should too. And like the difference is...
Yeah, but that's the reason why there's such a housing crisis. Because these boomers, there wouldn't be a housing crime. Again, I'm sorry, I'm kind of generalising. I'm not saying all older people, but if there was if there was a cycle all the time of old people or older people, I should say, selling the house to younger people, then housing prices wouldn't be as high as they are now. It's because they bought these houses in the 50s and 60s for like £1.50 and a bag of sherbet, and then now they're hoarding it. They're almost keeping. It's almost like Scrooge McDuck. They're hoarding the house to themselves until they die, and because there's a lack of housing,
and the
prices
increase
skyrocket
in
up.
Pay has not gone up.
Oh, that's another.
To match
that's
that.
another.
So like people could save like £3,000 before, and then they could put a deposit for a house. Whereas nowadays, £3,000 is like that's a month's rent.
But the housing prices of housing has gone down over COVID because people are actually there's more selling. I believe. I think more houses are up for sale at the moment. So housing prices have started to trickle down a little bit. But that's what it is. It's a supply and demand. If there's no supply, then demand's going to be higher, so the prices will be hyped up. So if you bought a house from the 1950s, 60s, You got to make a lot of money from it, sell it and downgrade to a smaller house, and then the housing prices will cycle.
Well,
anyway.
I've got the answer.
This is my rant episode, isn't it? Gosh.
Because the answer here is tiny homes.
Thank you.
And these, I've got a house tour of one that we've found online, and they're about they start at like 20,000 or something, and the guy goes, the price of a car, which that made me question a bit. But
you also
it's much more affordable.
Take into account the price of the land that you have to put it onto as well.
True.
Land ain't cheap.
So we have a little house tour. So we're going to look through the house tour and see if this is something that we could see ourselves living in, or if the viewers as well can see ourselves living in.
I mean, could you imagine just plonking a house on the side of someone's swimming pool in their house?
But they do need to have like mains, electricity and
just
stuff.
Just like the name it bears, it's a cozy yet modern nest, but not a conventional one. Instead, the Nestron is a tiny smart
I'll have the wine,
house
please.
that is small in size,
I love these
but
CGI
impressively
like
large in
people.
capabilities and
They're loving
technology.
life. There's two of them. There's Cube 1 and Cube 2.
That's Cube 1.
Yeah, Cube 1 is very
integrated and equipped.
See, that's my problem here. Straight away in Cube 1, I have a big problem here.
Right.
Especially if you're living with someone. If you're living on your own, I think it's fine. But do you not find this toilet situation worrying?
Well, no, yeah.
You're sat on the bed, and then you turn your head sideways, and you've got the full 360 view.
Some couples have showers or baths while the other one's having a full-on poo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you don't like that. But some couples are fine with it. So they'll be fine. Okay. But it might be, they don't show you, but it might be, that clever glass where you press a switch and it goes dark.
That's
Maybe
true.
It's like that.
Because the outside glass does that.
Oh, well, there you go. So it's probably the same thing.
Well, I hope so, because when I saw that first, I was like, well, you've lost me already. But if that goes crystalled or whatever, then that could be...
Yeah. Construction or foundation required.
It's a lovely house, very clean.
It does need to be hooked up to a
sewage
system and connected to electricity.
The guy in the corner doesn't look like he's moving. He's just like that. You just see like the words he's saying. You'll hear them. Oh, he is moving.
Forward-thinking mini innovation hail from Nestron, a company that integrates architectural design.
2 showers as well.
R&D
One for
and
the other for. And you can do a poo while you're having a shower. What better way of life is that?
Also seamless. Just
I
choose
want the
whichever
number
model
2
of
one.
Nestron that you and your family desire from a catalogue, and it can be shipped
Put one
to
of them
you
in the back of the
anywhere in
garden,
world.
I am.
I was about to say you could put one of those in the back of the garden. Oops.
This tiny smart home is versatile and can adapt to any climate thanks to
It's
its
like they just
solar
planted it in
panel
the middle of the
system
street.
and innovative insulation,
In New
which is
York.
present
See
in
the
its
glass
walls,
is showing.
double-tempered
Loving it,
glass,
that man.
and fitted doors.
Yes.
He's just staring at it going, what the hell is this monstrosity?
No matter the location.
It's a beautiful. To be fair, the design is lovely. It's really nice. I love curved edges and clean-looking stuff.
Built with a steel structure and top-quality materials, its
I think Charlie the
construction
cat would be a
is
bit
safe and
upset because he wouldn't be able to hide
Nestron
anywhere.
meets fireproof and earthquake
Unless he goes into the bathroom and then
turns
touches the blackout windows.
Earthquake resistant as well. They do look like just caravans with no wheels, really, aren't they?
Essentially, yeah.
including the Cube 2 or C2 model, which is ideal for medium-sized households and can comfortably accommodate 3 to 4 people.
Oh, can you imagine a couple and 2 children?
No, 4 people.
That would be tough.
It has
That
an
would be
open
tough,
concept
I think.
design
2 is-
and larger
especially if you had a
living room for
teenager.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It also has
There's
a
only one
specially
bed,
designed
isn't there?
skylight dome.
Ooh,
There must be 2
skylight dome.
beds, surely. Whereas how
Ideal
can you
for
start?
Dimensions are 8.7 meters in length,
sexy.
3.4 meters in width, and 3.1 meters in height. If you're interested in being part of this next generation world of tiny living, the cost starts at $21,500 US.
What's that in pounds? About £18,000?
Yeah, something like that. 17,000.
What makes the Nestron enticing
British
is its sleek
sterling.
design, functionality, and low carbon footprint. From a financial perspective, the Nestron could alleviate the financial burden of a mortgage, as well as costly utility bills, because it costs as much as buying a new car.
Yeah, but again, land. You have to remember land. I mean, for a couple, I think that's actually a really good idea. Is that the future? Do you think that's the future? Because if you think about when new homes are built nowadays, they do try to fit as much as they can because they want to make the most profitability.
Well, it's like in China and Japan. Their houses are
Well,
like
they build up,
aisle,
don't they?
like one aisle.
Yeah, but they build up. China and Japan. But then they don't need to really. Well, Japan does because it's a small island. But see, this is what I mean. We live... The United Kingdom is a small island and there's only finite land that can be built on.
Thingy said that, didn't she? What was her name? That horrible woman with grey hair who was on Celebrity Big Brother, MP.
Oh, Mo Moland.
No, the old
Not Mo
battle
Moland.
axe. The old battle axe woman. There's only so much land.
Oh God, what's her name?
She's horrible.
Anne Widdecombe.
Anne Widdecombe, yes, yeah. So you just quoted Anne Widdecombe, I'm afraid to say.
No.
She meant it in a horrible way. She meant it in a racist way. As get everyone off.
No, I don't mean it. I don't mean it as in we must get rid of them from the country. I mean it as in, so what do we do if there's as I've already mentioned, a housing crisis in this country? A lot of the housing that's built today, it's like rabbit warren, isn't it? Because they try to fit so much in such a small area. Like, we live in quite an old house. We live in an old coal miner's house, don't we? And you can tell it's like built in the 1900s because it's just the way it's like one long street and lots of houses are built in it and everyone has their room. But nowadays you have like a postage stamp for a garden and the house for a family is pretty much a kitchen, a lounge downstairs and then 2 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs and then that's it. And it's...
Tiny living's a new way of life.
Well, it's tiny living the new way of life. Because we were watching a video this week also about the population of the Earth. And like in the last 100 years, like it's gone from having a steady kind of trickle. Like it took like 2,000 years for it to get to 1 billion. Yeah. And the last 100 years it took. 200 years, it's now gone to 8 billion or 7 billion we're up to now. And so they reckon we're going to level off at about 12, did they say? 12, 13 billion? So... what do we do for housing? Especially cheap housing. And like he said, cheap housing for young people who can't afford. So is that a solution
Buy
to
an
that?
island and fill them with them and make your own community.
Well, we have an island.
That's what I'm doing.
But the Isle of Wight. Should we just make a young person's to get all the elderly off? And
there are people who live in forests and they just can make their own community, don't they? And live off grid. There's quite a lot of them. You can join them.
Yeah, but I don't think that you're thinking of I was going to say cults, but it's not cults.
They do seem like a cult, but they're not. That's what they tell me.
A friend of mine used to live, there was a patch of land in Wales that they used to hire and like a lot of young people used to go there and they used to smoke. And...
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought
they live there as a community. Like a cult, but not a cult. Like a good version.
A community anywhere if you wanted to. I mean, new towns are being built all the time in all world countries. Like America. Didn't Disney, they were going to build like a new town in like the 60s.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, something like that.
What, dystopian type?
Yeah, it was going to be like a dystopian town. Like what a lot of elderly people believe that it was like in the 50s and 60s now, but it really wasn't. It's, but I'm genuinely asking, is that the future? Is that what we're going to have to end up doing in order to make living affordable for young people? Because, I mean, but is rent more practical? It's just, so many. It's a landfill. It's a minefield of ideas and what ifs.
But you haven't even actually answered the question. The question was, could you live in a tiny home?
Depends who I'm living with. If it was you, it'd be tough.
Well, we did the caravan, all right?
Yeah. No, I
think it's all right. It'd be easier if it was a nice climate country, I think, because you then have the outside spaces extra.
Yeah, I mean, in the winter it would be tough, wouldn't it? But then if you plonked your tiny house outside a swimming pool like that person had, then...
But I like to test you and quiz you on this show, as we find out, to find out what you are. And you were saying you're immortal, you look young, blah, 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 blah.
And I know my children's television.
And obviously on my TikTok, I've been on lots of immortal things because of this show. So my algorithm has now changed slightly.
Okay.
And now my algorithm is showing me witch talk.
Witch talk?
Yes, which is witches.
Ooh. Really?
Covens.
I thought
they're all friendly.
Witch talk?
There was this really creepy thing, actually, before we do this quiz. There's a really creepy, voodoo thing that came up, and I want to see what you think of it. But lots of people, this person hasn't updated since this TikTok went out, and he's on YouTube as well. And people are worried for him, and all the comments on there say, I do not accept the negative energy from this video.
Okay.
And he's put the full video... No, there's no sound.
There's no jump scare or anything like that.
No, you don't need to see the sound.
Don't need to see the sound.
But look, he's gone into this cave and this is hanging there.
What, the paper mache person that they hung in there before they made the video?
You think that's paper mache? It looks like dried skin.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It's like paper mache and paint and liquor. Like a kind of shiny liquor.
So you don't think this is some weird voodoo doll that someone's left there?
I think it was left there, but probably by the two people who are making this video right now.
Okay.
Right.
It's got broken glass inside its head as well.
What, like a rattle?
No, but apparently that's like a thing that you put on a voodoo doll.
Oh, so you can look things up like that up then, can you? In order to make a video on YouTube.
People are saying as the replies from Witch Talk and stuff. So you don't think this is a voodoo doll?
No.
Well, what is it then?
It's a thing that they hung up themselves to get themselves notoriety for a video.
That looks like skin.
What? So you're saying that's a shrunken voodoo head baby?
No, but someone's made this out of like animal skin to put a curse.
I think you're meant to think that it's actually that used to be something living and it's died and it's been mummified in that way. I think that's what you're meant to think with curly little feet, like something from the Wicked Witch from the West and blooming Wizard of Oz, like underneath a house, squashed and the feet curled up so no one could find him. No, it's not real.
So you wouldn't be scared if you came across that in a cave?
I mean, it would scare me, but then, if I genuinely had spotted that in the cave, then of course I'd be worried, but I'm far too cynical to believe that. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's real. Why did that scare you?
I do not accept your negative energy.
I'm not being negative.
No,
I'm
I
just
think
saying.
the horrible energy coming from the video, but you can accept it because it's not real.
Well, no, because I'm not accepting it, am I? I'm saying it's not real.
Okay, well, on Witch Talk. Witch Talk,
Yeah.
people are doing tests to see how good your initiation is. So
Your initiation?
Is it
Initiative.
intuition?
Intuition,
Your intuition is. So they show you something and you have to pick what something is. So I'm going to do some tests with you. Obviously, there's a BuzzFeed one, but then we can do some actual witch ones afterwards if you want.
Okay.
Depending how good you do on this, because this isn't like the witch ones. This is like which pair of eyes, A, B, or C, which ones belong to a serial killer.
A serial killer?
What does your intuition tell you?
My intuition says it's B because it looks like a police photo. I think you meant to press the button.
That's correct.
I'm
Ted
pleased.
Bundy. Where was this photo taken? It gets harder, by the way. This is just warming you up.
France, Switzerland. How's this intuition?
Do you just go with your first answer? You don't think? Just go.
Switzerland. Oh, for goodness sake.
Which of these cards is King of Hearts?
So I have
just go.
one in
Just go.
C.
So that's what you first thought.
C.
No. Idiot. What does this Japanese word mean? Bread or butter? What's yours? What is it? What does your heart tell you?
Bread. My heart.
No, you're wrong.
Oh dear, I'm getting bad now. Which of these check
Which of these check marks were drawn by a woman and one was drawn by a man? Identify the one drawn by a man.
Oh, so the one that was drawn by a man?
Mm-hmm. Two were drawn by
A and B look really similar, so they probably want you to think those two were drawn by a man, and so the little one was drawn by a woman. I think that A was drawn by a female.
No.
Let's see. But I was right with my intuition to say that they were trying to...
You should listen to it. Take a close look. Is this a lemon or a lime? This is more what which ones are like. You have to go with what you think.
Shall I just answer then as I see it? Okay, lime.
No. Which hair sample belongs to a horse?
A.
The other two are human.
A. Quick. Go. A. Yes.
Well done. Two people drew doodles of cats. Can you identify the one that was drawn by the older person?
A. Yes.
Where was this photo taken?
Vietnam.
No, Thailand. Idiot. Finally, what number is this dog thinking of?
That's ridiculous. 7. Oh.
Well done. 50%.
I'm Raven. I said I was like Raven in the last episode. I said during this episode soon, I'm going to look at the camera and you're going to zoom into my eye. Mm-hmm. I am Raven. What is it? So it's saying I'm pretty intuitive.
Your frequency go with your gut. But sometimes you find yourself torn between feelings and fact.
Well, that's kind of what happened. My intuitiveness, my intuitivity says I am intuitive. Is that possible?
I think so. So have you warmed up a bit now?
Right, so now we're doing I am a witch.
Well, lots of these have them where you just have to guess.
So if I'm a witch, does that mean I'm immortal? Does this finally confirm my immortality?
No.
I'm still waiting for people to get in touch with their immortal tests. Please do. Twitter, @Walford Weekly.
Okay, so let's do some tests then. You've warmed yourself up now, so you just go with your heart.
No, I'm just going to say the answer, okay?
I don't know if we need headphones for this or not, but you can put one in just to find out.
Okay.
No one really knows.
Intuition test. What color is the candle?
So what colour is
Blue.
that candle? That's what went to your head straight away?
Blue.
I had purple in my head.
Oh, blue's kind of
Ready.
bluey purple. Bluey purple. I was going to change my mind to red.
Intuition test.
I was. I swear I was. I swear I was about to change my mind to red. I was about to say, actually, no, I think it might be red. I swear that was about to happen.
Intuition test. Can you guess what forest animal is on the back of this card?
Wolf.
The answer is flowing to
Deer.
your
I
mind.
think it's a deer.
Listen to your heart.
Because I can see, I can see antlers.
Don't second guess yourself.
I'm not
Look
a
into
deer.
your heart.
Intuition test. Can you...
God. Although I did say I can see deers. Which one will I pick up?
Green.
I think green too. But then I think it's because it's a warming colour, so that's kind of... Because green rooms is a comforting colour, isn't it? So maybe you were drawn to the comforting colour.
Green.
2 for 3. 2 for 3.
Intuition test. Which candle is the yellow?
Which one's
candle?
yellow? 1 or 9? I'm going to go with 3.
Well, I reckon it's 6.
I wonder if there's things in here which make people pick a certain thing.
That's what I'm wondering. I was going to say...
Intuition
But I
test.
can't just stick to my intuition.
Well, that's what the point is. You can't just keep saying...
Well, I thought 5 was too obvious, so I said 6.
It's never too obvious.
Why am I enjoying this rather quite a lot?
Right.
Which stone?
What stone are you most drawn
It's green
to?
again. So I think it's colour thing. I think it's to do with
So
the
you
colour
went
thing.
to green, I went to the blue one.
Yep. Green. Because it just changed. Yeah, I think it's to do with colour. Because green is a very comforting
What about the black
colour.
and white one then? There's another candle here.
What colour is this candle? It's a light colour. I reckon
Intuition
it's
test.
yellow.
What color is this candle?
Yellow.
Blue.
Oh, don't stop now.
Why has it stopped?
Because ghosts, voodoo
Our
doll.
internet is so... Well, yeah, it's your negative energy.
How's my negative energy caused that to stop? That's a silly thing to say.
Oh my god.
Got something in your eyelash.
Intuition test. What color is this candle?
Right, going again. So you said yellow.
Yellow.
And I said blue. Light blue.
Light blue.
Ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Light green.
Light green. That is yellow. I'm sorry. That's not like bloody... Like
Yeah,
green.
yellow. It's a kind of yellow.
That's
lemony
yellow.
light.
Everyone's saying it's yellow.
Oh, so I was right. I was right.
Okay, one more.
Hang on. Yeah, go on then. One more.
I know you are enjoying these.
What number
Hard
1 to
level.
5 is
What
hidden
number
under
1 to
the
5?
sand? I'm going to say 5. And if it's 5 again, then there must be something about the number 5 that draws people to things.
3.
Oh, she's got that kinetic sand. Or the person who's done this. Oh, God's sake.
She's really drawing this out, isn't she?
Yeah.
Christ. This is a hard level one, though.
What, so it serves this... It's like bread, isn't it? It's
Bloody
weird.
fast forward this crap.
Oh, here we go.
4.
Oh, it's a number 4.
So you're not high level.
Or the letter A. Well, I got a few there. I'm quite pleased with myself.
Extra hard.
What animal figures
figures
underneath?
Panda.
I reckon it's a fox. If I get this right, then I'm good at the animal ones, which goes to show that I'm a...
All the colour ones.
No, I've been bad at the colour ones. It's an elephant.
Oh. I don't know why, but I found disappointed by that.
We don't need to see any more. I feel like we've exhausted an intuition test.
Just once more, candle, red. Which one is red?
Which one is red?
That
One fourth to the left.
Yes, what I just said.
Yeah.
Pause the video.
Ready? Oh, it's not. It's almost the centre.
There you go.
So I feel like our intuition is rubbish. But then I also believe that the test is maybe... I think there's flaws. I don't think that's scientifically correct that something on TikTok is going to test my voodoo witchcraft intuition skills.
Actual coven witches do these. So
do they?
Yes. Why are you so against everything?
I'm not against everything.
You're against the Immortals. You're against the
Immortals at all.
You're against.
I'm not
witches.
against any of this stuff. I'm just saying that you need to take it with a pinch of salt. I'm a bit worried that you're getting carried away with these.
Well, I think you need to open up your mind because you're too close-minded.
I don't think I'm close-minded. I just think that
you need to let some positive aura.
I see the world for what it is, and sadly, it's not the best place right now.
No? Well, why not? Because of negative auras like you. That's why.
Negative Nancy's like me. I don't know.
What the fuck? I just put in a TikTok address and it's come up with the weirdest TikTok.
Yeah, but on TikTok, you don't do it on TikTok, you do it as a web browser address.
Well, I want to be able to find this, but my thing won't let me. So, we all love Miriam Margolyes. Mm-hmm. Just the best
do. She's just a legend. See, she I can get on board with, because she's like me. Not exactly like me, but she says it as it is. She doesn't take fools lightly. Mm-hmm.
Everyone just loves her. Everyone's seen everything that she can do. But I wanted... Well, I saw this TikTok, the A to Z. It was Miriam Margolyes' alphabet.
Right.
So I thought, as our ending thing on to this week's show, because we try to end on a positive after you've no-noed the voodoo dolls, no-noed the witches.
I've crapped all over the thing.
No-noed the covens, don't like the vampires, don't like the immortals.
I never said any of that. I just said
so we are now...
You have to be cynical, especially with what's presented on YouTube and TikTok.
Well, I think you should just enjoy life. And we're going to watch the Miriam Margolyes
arseholes are arseholes.
alphabet.
B.
Arseholes are arseholes.
Is for...
Be careful.
I love that clip when she's...
Is for... cream in my knickers. D is for... Do you fuck? E is for...
Excuse me, could you tell me where the nearest garage is? I don't know where I am at the moment.
F is for...
Oh, that's my favourite.
G is for...
Good sex.
Fucking hell, it's a fucking nightmare.
H is for...
Here's a fart coming up, especially for you. There you go.
I is for...
I had this enormous shit, you know.
J is for...
Just keep your distance from people.
K is for...
Key to enjoying old age is a daily bowel movement.
I second that.
L is for...
Look at my tits, they're hanging out.
M is for...
Miriam Escobar.
N is for...
National Health Stick.
O is for...
Oh, come on, you fucking pig.
P is for...
Pushed his erection into my bottom.
R is for...
Rich people don't have breasts.
S is for...
Suck you off.
T is for...
Tubing up into your arsehole.
V is for...
Very pissed off and miserable.
W is for...
Will you take your cock out of my arse?
Y is for...
You fucking idiot.
No Z?
No, sadly.
I suppose Z's a difficult one to find.
But,
Miriam Margolyes is just a...
Miriam Margolyes, yes, she is.
She's just lovely. I mean, I need to quickly follow up. That one when she says, back off, just back off. That's from when she travelled around India and they someone cut the queue in front of her.
Yeah.
And she just screamed.
It was like a train
at the person.
station, wasn't it?
Because obviously English manners is that you queue and you wait for your turn. But in the country she was in, that's not the case. And we talked about this in the pilot episode, I think, about how, like, in England, it just doesn't, in our head, it doesn't make sense not to queue. And yeah, she screamed at this person for not queuing properly, which I suppose isn't the right thing to do in their own country. But at the same time, it was very funny to watch her do it. But
she's just excellent.
She's just a lovely woman. I think she's just lovely.
My favourite person in the world. Have you seen this as well? I saw. It's a fairground ride and it's like rocking.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen this, but I didn't realise that was the reason why. Oh God.
It's like, imagine being on that.
Why are they not? It looks like the person who's running the fairground ride is also
running away.
Yeah.
Well, I would do.
No, you should stop the thing. That's frightening.
And how about this child? Do you think they're going to be traumatised for life? Because I saw this. He's playing. It's like one of those things you put your hand in.
Oh yeah, those. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's horrible.
He will have. I mean, that is just. It's too realistic. But he's got nightmares for life, hasn't he?
I know, that poor kid. He's gonna need. I wish he had special therapy.
I wish it went on for like 1 second longer, just because
because you can hear the scream, and that's a good place to stop it. Although we shouldn't. Oh, his little face. Bless him. All he wanted to do was make sure that it looked flat and perfect. So he might have an OCD problem already, and then as this face comes out and haunts him for the rest of his life. That poor child.
That's what's going to happen to you from the negative voodoo energy.
I'm sure it won't.
Well, okay, but I just want it to be known that I want nothing to do with it.
Well, I'll make sure you have a lot to do with it when it happens, which it won't.
So there you go. That was this week's show. Again, all wrapped up. My mum just phoned me about her house. They're selling the house. They've been trying to sell it for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
The Queen has taken bits of her land off her because they didn't know they had land, and then it went to the royal estate, and that took months. But it's all going well, and they've had an offer, everyone.
Well, there you go. Have a party. Enjoy yourself.
I don't know if it's been accepted yet, so we'll let you know next week if it was accepted.
Is it what your mum wanted?
The fortune and the family phone calls, you see?
That's true. It's starting already. It's in the family.
There you go. So that's what happened during our break. And there you go. So I hope you all enjoyed another episode. And feel free to get in touch if there's anything you want us to talk about. If you're a witch, if you practice voodoo, and if you give Alex bad energy.
Or do I give them bad energy?
Give me bad energy.
Who's the, is it the witch catcher in Sabrina? Who, when he gets introduced to the school and becomes friends with Harvey.
Yeah.
He doesn't, because he doesn't know he's a kind of witch hunter.
No, he does know, doesn't he? He just doesn't know Sabrina's a witch.
Oh, right.
Something like that.
Yeah. But I'm not a witch hunter.
What about him?
Well, I was just going to say, I'm a bit like him, I suppose, but I'm not a witch hunter. But I'm not a witch hunter, nor am I...
The witches on TikTok, I follow one of them, but I can't find them at the moment, but they're a coven and they own a shop in, like, a village. And it's just, like, the best life. There's, like, 4 or 5 of them. Single women. And they have cool outfits and they sell things. And
it just sounds like a copy from the 90s film The Craft or whatever it's called.
Remember bit like that. Do you think that's like idyllic life?
If they're happy and they're not hurting anyone, I do not care what they do.
I'd like that.
You can literally do what you like.
So they're all single. I think they all hate men and they're just white witches and they just,
why do they hate men?
Loving life.
What have men done? I mean, what have men not done, to be fair, to suppose females, to be fair.
I like the witches, the white witches.
What reason do you have to hate men? Do you hate me?
I just hate men, they're annoying. Don't like them. Straight men, mainly. But that's a topic for another day to discuss.
You really do, but you're trying to get everyone to hate me because I said that a voodoo doll wasn't a voodoo thing in a cave, and then you finish the show with, I hate men, especially straight ones.
Well, this is a topic we can discuss another time.
Oh, can we?
Because it's not as black and white as that,
isn't it?
It's fine.
I think it is a bit silly, though. I think it's because you find yourself uncomfortable around straight men.
So I don't like them.
Because you put you're stereotyping them the same way you wouldn't like to be stereotyped for being a gay man. You're stereotyping straight men for being a certain type of thing, and they're not.
They are better now. Modern,
they're better now.
Modern straight men I like.
Right.
It's just the other kind, so I can't be dealing
Neanderthals. Yeah, but that's not straight men, so then you're generalising it, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
But anyway, I think we should stop there, don't you?
Anyway, we'll stop. Thank you for watching, if you still are. And we'll see you again next week for... Well, what's your initiation? What do you think is going to happen in your heart?
What, next week?
Have you got a feeling, a gut feeling?
In what way?
In any way? You took all those tests. You should be...
Oh, what do I think? Oh God, I can't even say the word. My gut feeling. I think that this time next week when you watch the show, I would have come into some money.
What colour t-shirt are you going to be wearing? Red.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I could just wear a red t-shirt.
That's true. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next week in red.